So please have a pen and paper side by you. We will just start our class, and if you have any query and you are just not getting anything, you can simply either leave a message on the chat box or unmute your audio and speak. So I think PPT is available on your screen now. Can you see this PPT? Okay, so let's start. So we were here. Let me just fast forward the last class very fastly. So we did this part. Okay. So we were here. So these physical quantities can be divided into two parts, vector and scalar. Vector quantities have both magnitude and direction, and scalar quantities have only magnitude. So this was an example by which we learned. I think I should skip this now. So this scalar quantities follow arithmetic addition, like 10 gram plus 3 gram is equals to 13 gram. But this is not the case in the vector addition. Vectors follow this triangular law, which we were talking just 2 minutes ago. So my computer is a little bit slow today. Please bear with me. Maybe I should skip this part, right? I just start my class directly. Okay, so where were we? We were just, okay. So let me start off with the introduction. So till now what we have covered is, we have covered in scalars and vectors, what is vector, what is scalar. So how do we add scalars? How do we add vectors? So today our task is, how do we multiply vectors? So we have to just only learn how do we multiply vectors and what is the effect of this multiplication. So I know you know almost 80% of this part, but still learn like you know nothing, so that you can have a better understanding, and in the end we will solve questions, right? So let's start the multiplication. Okay, so this is our task today, to learn multiplication of vectors. So here two cases arise. When you multiply a vector, either you multiply a vector with a scalar or you multiply two vectors, right? There are two cases, either you multiply a scalar and a vector, or you multiply a vector with a vector, right? So we will discuss these two cases. First case is, so our first case is when you multiply a scalar with a vector. So what happens when you multiply a scalar with a vector? Before that, let's start with the examples. Okay, so let's start. So we want to discuss the multiplication of a scalar with a vector. These are some examples of scalar. Mass, distance, 2, 4, 5 numbers are also scalars. Here are some examples of vectors: displacement, acceleration, and force. Right? So what happens when you multiply a scalar with a vector? When you multiply a scalar with a vector, the resultant quantity should be a. Now you have to answer what it should be. When you multiply a scalar with a vector, suppose you are multiplying 5 with velocity, so you get 5 times velocity vector. So what is the resultant quantity? Is it a scalar or a vector? Is it a scalar or a vector? So people are saying that it is a vector. Okay, next example. Say we say mass is a scalar, right? And acceleration is vector. So when you multiply mass into acceleration, which quantity do we get? When we multiply mass with acceleration, which quantity do we get? So Abhik is saying force. Very good. So force is equals to mass into acceleration. So what is force? Force is a vector or a scalar? Force is a vector or a scalar? Force is a vector. So let's start again on the PPT. So when we do this, what happens is that These are some examples of this type of multiplication. Mass into acceleration, 5 times velocity, 4 times velocity. So these solutions for these are force, 5 times the force, 4 times the velocity. And the special thing about this case is that whenever you multiply scalar with a vector, all these solutions result in vector quantities. So whenever you multiply a scalar with a vector, you will get a vector quantity in each and every case. So this is a thumb rule now, that if we multiply a scalar with a vector, we will always get a vector quantity. So all these solutions are vector quantities. Hence, whenever we multiply a scalar with a vector, we always get a vector quantity. Right? So we agree till now? This is okay now? Till now we agree? So whenever we multiply a scalar with a vector, we will every time in each case get a vector quantity. Okay. Now next question to introspect is that, next question for introspection is that, what happens when you multiply a vector with a vector? Do you get a vector quantity or do you get a scalar quantity? So what is your intake on that? Whenever you, now next case is when you multiply two vectors. So you are multiplying a vector with another vector. So what do you get? Do you get a scalar quantity or you get a vector quantity? So Abhik is saying it depends on the condition. Okay, so let's start. This is our discussion. So let's move on to next case, case number 2. So multiplication of vectors with another vector. Okay, sorry. So let's start. Okay. So here we want to discuss what happens when you multiply displacement with force. What happens when you multiply displacement with force? What will happen if we multiply displacement with force? What will happen if you multiply displacement with force? You will get a vector or a scalar. Think critically. So can we get torque by multiplying vector displacement and force? Can we get torque? Torque is also displacement into force. Right? So displacement into force is work also, and displacement into force is torque also. Work is scalar and torque is vector. So multiplication between two same vector quantities is giving both scalar and vector. So what is the criteria? How will you decide? How will you make a thumb rule? Again, I am repeating, multiplication between same two vector quantities, that is displacement and force, is giving both scalar quantity, that is work, and vector quantity, that is torque. So this process is a little bit complicated. So let's start. So displacement into force can be a work also, and displacement into force can be torque also. Similarly, displacement into displacement. What will be displacement into displacement? Have you seen any example in physics where you multiply displacement with displacement? So displacement into displacement is either projection, or when we try to calculate a normal perpendicular to the both plane of the two vectors. So displacement into displacement is also giving scalar, that is projection, and vector, that is perpendicular to the plane of the vectors. So let's start again. Let's move on. What our aim is to show that multiplication between two same vectors can lead to a scalar quantity as well as a vector quantity. So these are the two examples of that. Displacement into force is work done, which is a scalar quantity, And displacement into force is torque, which is a vector quantity. Displacement into displacement is can be projection, which is a scalar quantity, and displacement into displacement can be a perpendicular to the plane, which is containing the both of the vectors is a vector quantity. So the conclusion we get is that vector to vector multiplication is giving both results, it is giving both vector and scalar quantities, which means there are two types of multiplications, and they are dot product and cross product. So till now, have you got everything? So this show that our introspection, our example, our discussion about this example when we took two same vector quantities and it was giving vector as well as scalar, shows that there are two types of multiplication, cross product and dot product. Dot product, as we know, gives scalar quantity, and cross product, as we know, gives vector quantity. Okay, so we have to segregate this multiplication of vectors into two parts, dot product and cross product. So as you see here, yellow color is being shown to show scalar. Okay, so we have shown dot product with yellow color also, and red color is representing vector. So the cross product is marked by vector. So you have to memorize that dot product is the multiplication between two vectors, which results in a scalar quantity, whereas cross product is a multiplication between two vectors, which result in a vector quantity. Okay, so again, I'm repeating for you. Dot product is a vector to vector multiplication where result is a scalar quantity, whereas cross product is a multiplication between two vectors where the resultant quantity is a vector quantity, right? So which means that when you are doing dot product of displacement and force, you are getting work done, and when you are doing the cross product of displacement and force, you are getting torque. When you are doing dot product of force and displacement, you are getting work done. But when you are doing cross product of force and displacement, you are getting torque. So do we agree till now? Right? It's clear now, right? Okay. So let's move on to dot product. What is dot product? So the multiplication between two vector quantities which result in a scalar quantity is dot product. So examples are displacement into force is work done, and displacement into displacement is projection. So this projection is very important for your engineering point of view. We will discuss this later and do a question on it. So what is the working formula? We have two vectors, A vector and B vector, such that the angle between A and B is theta. Then the working formula is that A vector dot B vector is equals to AB cos theta, where A and B, when there is no sign, no arrow over it, represents the length of A vector and B vector, or the magnitude of A vector and B vector, and theta is the angle between them. So, okay, dot product is the vector to vector multiplication which results in a scalar quantity, point 1. Point 2, dot product of two vectors, that is A vector dot B vector, is equals to AB cos theta. Okay, so how we will remember this cos theta? See, this is D, this is C. तो C, D से पहले क्या आता है? C आता है, ठीक है? D से पहले क्या आता है? C आता है. इसलिए कभी कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है आपको कि यहाँ पर cos थीटा आएगा कि यहाँ पर sin थीटा आएगा. D डॉट प्रोडक्ट है तो C आएगा, और क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट है तो C नहीं आएगा. अगर D है तो C आएगा, और अगर क्रॉस का C है तो C नहीं आएगा, वहां पर sin आएगा. ओके, तो डॉट प्रोडक्ट का वर्किंग फॉर्मूला है A वेक्टर इनटू B वेक्टर गिव्स अस AB cos theta. Now, the important part of discussion is that this theta can be measured from A also and can be measured from B also. The measurement of theta, the reference for measurement of theta will not change the dot product. So if you measure the theta from A, then also your dot product will be same. If you measure theta by B, then also your dot product will be same, because the dot product is a scalar quantity, and scalar quantity has no effect of direction over it. Repeating again, if you are measuring this angle theta from A, or in another case you are measuring this theta from B, in both cases the dot product will be same, because the dot product gives us a scalar quantity and scalar quantities have no effect of direction over them. Okay, so the reference for theta has no importance here. कि हमने इस थीटा को कौन से एंगल वेक्टर से मेजर किया है, इसका कोई इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं है. We will just have to see what is the angle between these two vectors. हमें सिर्फ इतना देखना है कि इन दोनों वेक्टर के बीच में कितना एंगल है और हमें डॉट प्रोडक्ट का फॉर्मूला लगा देना है. ये कि एंगल हम ए वेक्टर से लें या बी वेक्टर से, इसका कोई इफेक्ट ही नहीं है, बिकॉज डॉट प्रोडक्ट हमें स्केलर क्वांटिटी देता है. इतना सबको समझ में आया? सो द रेफरेंस फॉर मेजरिंग एंगल हैज नो इंपॉर्टेंस इन डॉट प्रोडक्ट. हम इस थीटा को कहीं से भी मेजर कर सकते हैं, ए से भी और बी से. ठीक है, क्यों कर सकते हैं मेजर? क्योंकि हमारा डॉट प्रोडक्ट स्केलर क्वांटिटी देता है. स्केलर क्वांटिटी के ऊपर डायरेक्शन का कोई भी असर नहीं होता, कोई भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. ठीक है, ठीक है. तो डॉट प्रोडक्ट का हमें वर्किंग फॉर्मूला समझ में आ गया, डायरेक्शन डेफिनेशन समझ में आ गया और एग्जांपल समझ में आ गए. तो अब ये नेक्स्ट चीज पढ़ते हैं. So we measure these coordinates. On the coordinate, we measure any point, the location of any point, with the help of this 3 coordinate system. So this is x. Okay, sorry. This is x, this is y, and this is z. So this is x, this is y, and this is z. So traditionally we use 3 coordinate axis system to define vectors. Now we have 3 primary directions: x direction, which is represented by I cap, y direction, which is represented by j cap, and z direction, which is represented by k cap. Now what is minus x axis? X prime, and the vector for x prime is minus I cap. We have 3 primary directions x, y, z, and 3 secondary directions, extended directions minus x, minus y, and minus z. We have 3 unit vectors. For x we have I cap, for y we have j cap, for z we have k cap, and for x prime or x negative we have minus I cap, for y prime we have minus j cap, and for z prime we have minus k cap. So we have only 3 unit vectors which are representing 3 primary axes, and for 3 extended axes we will just put minus sign in front of the unit vectors. So is this okay? We have only 3 unit vectors. We have only 3 unit vectors. We have only 3 unit vectors for 3 primary axes x, y, and z, and for extended axes z, that is x prime, y prime, and z prime, we will just put minus sign. We will just put minus sign in front of the primary unit vectors. That is, for minus x cap we will have. So which unit vector will you take for minus x direction? For x prime direction, which unit vector will you take? Can we have the answer in the chat box? For x prime direction, which unit vector will you take? So for x prime direction, we will take minus I cap. We will take minus I cap. Very good. Okay. Next question. For z direction, which unit vector will you take? For z direction, which unit vector will you take? Sahita, I said z direction. Z. K cap. No, not minus. I did not say z negative or z cap. Also z prime. So we will take k cap. Okay, again, for negative y axis. Negative y axis. Negative y axis. So minus j cap. Okay, fine. Again, minus z axis. Minus z axis. Minus k cap. So it's very clear. For xi, yj, zk. And for the extended self, we will just put minus sign in front of the original corresponding vectors. Okay. So now what is unit vector? What is a unit vector? What is a unit vector? Vector which has a magnitude of 1. Very good. Vector having magnitude 1 unit. Very good. So what do you mean by I cap? If I say I cap is a unit vector in x direction, what do I mean by that? I cap is a unit vector in x direction that has magnitude of 1. Okay, very good. So I cap is a vector in x direction having magnitude 1 unit, right? So let's start with the PPT again. So unit vector along x-axis is I cap. It is a vector of unit length 1 in x direction. Similarly, j cap is the vector of length 1 in y direction, and k cap is the vector of length 1 in z direction. Okay. So what is the direction between I cap and j cap? What is the direction between I cap and j cap? What is the angle between I cap and j cap? 90 degree. Very good. Not cos 90, but I'm just asking about angle. It is only 90 degree. Okay. Next question is, what is the angle between I cap and k cap? It is also 90 degree. Very good. So what is the value of cos 90? What is the value of cos 90? It is 0. Very good. So we will just do the dot product of the basic directions. So dot product of I dot I is 1 into 1 into cos 90, which is 0. J into I is also 0. See, I into J and J into I is, both answers are same. J into K is also 0. K into I is also 0. Himanshu is saying 180 degree. No, beta. There are 3 mutually perpendicular axes, so the angle between all 3 of them is 90 degree. Now my question to you people is that, what is the dot product of I and K? What is the dot product of I and K? So Ripu is saying 0. Abhik, Subhashish, everyone is saying 0, right? Now next question, what is the dot product of I and I? What is the dot product of I and I? Very good, 1. Okay, so I think the concept is clear. So the important results that we can pick from here is that non-zero vectors having 0 dot product are perpendicular to each other. So the vectors who are non-zero in themselves, but their dot product is coming out to be 0, it means that cos theta is 0. If cos theta is 0, it means that theta is 90 degree. So very important result. It is always helpful for numericals and for competitive questions that for two non-zero vectors, when their dot product is 0, it means their cos theta is 0. If cos theta is 0, then theta must be 90 degree and the vectors must be perpendicular. Second, I into j is equals to j into I shows that dot product is commutative. So if you do the dot product of A into B and then we do the dot product of B into A, it will always be same. It will always be same. Okay, so what important result we can conclude from here is that dot product is commutative. Now commutative is a very heavy word if we do not know the meaning of commutative. Commutative means this is a mathematical term. Commutative means is that when you apply a mathematical operation, between two numbers or two quantities. Commutative words means is that when you apply a mathematical operation like multiplication, division, addition, subtraction between two numbers or between two physical quantities, then the order, if on changing the order, the answer is not changing. Like 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1 will always give 3. So on changing the order of numbers of physical quantities, the answer is not changing. Then the mathematical operation is commutative. Then the mathematical operation is commutative. So like 1 plus 2 is equals to 2 plus 1. So on changing the order of numbers, this addition is giving the same answer. Therefore, addition operation is commutative. Right? So is subtraction commutative? Can we get an answer on that? Is subtraction commutative? Is 1 minus 2 or 2 minus 1 are the same thing? No. Subtraction is not commutative. So is multiplication commutative? Normal multiplication 1 into 2 or 2 into 1. Normal multiplication. Is normal multiplication commutative? Yes, it is commutative. अभी बेटा जो आपने बताया है ऊपर, this is distributive law. No, this is not distributive law. This is associative law. ये associative law है जो अभी बता रहे हैं चैट बॉक्स में. ये commutative law नहीं है. So multiplication is commutative. So dot product is also commutative. So either you multiply A with B or you multiply B with A, it will always give the same answer because the answer which is coming out is a scalar quantity. So the order is not important. The order of multiplication does not affect because the result is a scalar. Angle can be measured from any of the vectors, meaning the reference for measuring angle does not affect the multiplication. So I think the important results from dot product we have absorbed. What we have absorbed is that non-zero vectors giving zero dot product are perpendicular to each other. First point. Second point, dot product is a commutative operation. Second, the order of multiplication A into B and B into A will always give the same answer because the answer is a scalar quantity. And last, since A into B and B into A is the same thing, so the reference for measuring angle is not affecting the answer. Therefore, we can measure angle from A also, or we can measure angle from B also. Okay, so these are the four very important perspective coming out from dot product for the numerical part. So are we clear on this ground now on dot product? Right? So let's do one example. I'm sure you are having your notebook and pen. Can you multiply A vector and B vector? Can you do their dot product? Can you multiply A vector, which is given to be 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 5k cap, and B vector, which is I cap plus 3j cap plus k cap? Can you multiply them in dot product form? And what will be their dot product? You have to calculate dot product of 2i cap again. Okay, so can you see it from the PPT? A vector is 2i cap, 3j cap, 5k cap, and B vector is I cap plus 3j cap plus k cap. So can you measure the dot product? Can you calculate the dot product from here? So Ripu is saying it is 16. So right, Ripu, it is 16. Arya is saying 16. Aniket is saying 16. Aman is also saying 16. 16 is the right answer. I'm sure you have calculated 16, not seen from my PPT. So PPT I have solved for people who do not get the answer. So if you are facing any problem, you can see the solution from the PPT also. So let's read the solution from the PPT. I'm just increasing the size so you can read it properly. Okay. So can you read? For those people who can't calculate a dot product by themselves, I know Aniket, right? So those people who cannot calculate the dot product, they can see is that we are multiplying 2i cap with every quantity, every number in this vector. So 2 I cap into I cap, 2 I cap into 3 j cap, 2 I cap into k cap. What is I cap into I cap? I cap into I cap is 1. I cap into j cap is 0. I cap into k cap is 0. So this, in this way, only I cap into I cap, j cap into j cap, and k cap into k cap quantities will remain. And I cap into I cap, j cap into j cap, and k cap into k cap is 1. So this becomes 2 plus 3 into 3 plus 5, 2 plus 9 plus 5, which is 16. So did everyone? Yes, Abhik is saying by only doing I cap into I cap, j cap into j cap plus k cap into k cap, we will get the answer. Very good, Abhik. So you are totally right. So now the question is that, the important tricky question is that, can you calculate the angle between these two vectors? अगर आपको a वेक्टर b वेक्टर गिवन है, वहां से आप a वेक्टर b वेक्टर का एंगल निकाल सकते हैं क्या? निकाल सकते हैं। आर्या से हम निकाल सकते हैं। तो आप निकाल कर दिखाइए कैसे निकालेंगे। So next task is that these two vectors are given to you. I know, but which I am not asking about method, Sahita. You have to calculate and tell the answer. Two vectors are given. Is this information enough for calculating the angle between the two vectors? First of all, yes, this information is enough. How we will calculate angle between these two vectors? We will just take their dot product and put the value of a and b, magnitude, and cos theta will come out. So can we get an answer? Yes, Devmalia, the procedure is right, but you have to tell the numeric answer that is coming out. Take a pen and paper and solve. So I think it is very difficult to write in chat box. So please, those who have calculated, they can unmute their audio and speak. Answer is a little bit tricky to write in the chat box. Eight by root 2,208. Okay, Ripu. So the right answer is cos theta is equals to 16 over under root 38 into under root 11. So from here, by using a calculator, we can calculate theta. So we will do more questions on dot product. Let's discuss this. Let's take our discussion forward. So what is cross product? So cross product is represented by x cross, and the multiplication between two vectors which result in a vector quantity is called cross product. So the examples of cross product are displacement into force, which is giving torque, which is a vector quantity. Similarly, vector displacement into displacement, which is giving a perpendicular to the plane in which both of the vectors are being contained, and it is also vector quantity. So important thing, now we have to compare with dot product results and learn. In dot product, it was not important that from which vector we were measuring our theta. We were measuring our theta from A or B. But here, it's very important. So if you are measuring your angle from B or you are measuring from angle from A, the answers will be different. So what can we say from this result? What can we say from this result is that cross product is not commutative. So A cross B is not equal to B cross A. So is everyone is on the same page? Have you all done the right? Right. Arya is saying right. Oh, Arya, the answer Arya is telling is right. What I am telling is that, let me repeat again. Cross product is the vector multiplication in which we get a vector quantity. Okay. Now, important thing is that if we measure angle from A and then do the cross product, in both the cases, my answer will be different. So A cross B is not equals to B cross A. Which is this quantity? What do you call this quantity? This observation. How will you tell this observation? The observation is that cross product is not commutative. Very good, Abhi, because the direction is different. Cross product is not commutative. So let's learn again. Okay. So n cap. So if suppose A cross B is giving C vector. Suppose A cross B is giving C vector. So C vector has both magnitude as well as direction. Okay. So magnitude is being given by AB sine theta. Magnitude is given by AB sine theta. And this n cap is giving the direction of C vector. This n cap is giving the direction of C vector. So the magnitude resultant C vector is being given by AB sine theta and the direction is being given. So it's very easy to calculate the magnitude of C vector. It is normally AB sine theta. So how do we calculate the direction of वेक्टर प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज? आप किस तरीके से जब दो वेक्टर को मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं तो जो रिजल्टेंट वेक्टर आता है उसकी डायरेक्शन को निकालते हैं? अभी तक कैसे निकालते हैं? विच लॉ, विच रूल डू यू यूज? राइट हैंड थंब रूल. वेरी गुड. तो कुछ लोगों को, शायद कुछ ही लोगों को नहीं आता होगा, बाकी सबको आता होगा. तो एक बार और हम करते हैं. अब अपनी कॉपी में सब लोग इस तरह से कॉपी लें. मैं दिखाती हूँ आपको. ऐसे कॉपी लेंगे सब लोग. Suppose this is A vector and this is B vector and this is the angle. Right? आपने अपनी कॉपी में ऐसा डायग्राम बनाया. उसके बाद you will take your right hand and put your right hand on the A vector because you are measuring your angle from A. आप यहाँ पर A को पहले लिख रहे हैं. जब आप A को पहले लिखते हैं इसका मतलब है कि आप A से अपना एंगल मेजर कर रहे हैं. A क्रॉस B वेक्टर, मीनिंग इस एक्सप्रेशन का मीनिंग ये है कि आप A से B की तरफ क्रॉस करते हुए जा रहे हैं. आप A से B की तरफ जा रहे हैं मतलब आप A से अपना एंगल मेजर कर रहे हैं. तो कॉपी में ये बनाइए एंड कीप योर राइट हैंड ऑन A. A इज अ रेफरेंस लाइन, नॉट पॉइंट. बेटा पॉइंट नहीं, लाइन. देखो तुम्हारा ये जो चीज है ये लाइन के ऊपर है, ना कि पॉइंट के ऊपर. ठीक है. आपने A की तरफ रखा. आप क्या करो, अपनी फिंगर्स को, ये जो फिंगर्स राइट हैंड की, कर्ल देम टुवर्ड्स B. कर्ल देम टुवर्ड्स B. So your thumb is giving the direction of the resultant. Resultant किसका? Cross product का. So BA cross B is this direction, which is coming towards my laptop. A, because this expression is A cross B, so we will measure from A. A cross my fingers. A cross B is this direction. Okay. So can you see now, Rizwan? Not upward direct. Okay, upward in your sense if your copy is being placed on the table. In my sense, it is towards the laptop. Okay. So A cross B means from A we have to measure the angle. A cross B. A, cross your fingers. Cross B. Cross towards B. A cross towards B, and thumb is the direction of the resultant. So my direction of the A cross B is towards my laptop and towards my webcam. Right? Now what happens when I do B cross A? What happens when I do B cross A? So again right hand, not left hand, right hand. I cannot put like this because then I will not be able to cross. Okay? So A cross, sorry, B cross A, and the direction is towards the wall. The direction is towards the wall. So A cross B is towards the webcam, and B cross A is towards the wall. Similarly, in your case, if your copy is being placed on the table, A cross B will be towards the sky, and B cross A will be towards the floor. So by simple, we can see that A cross B is not equals to B cross A. The first important thing is that cross product is not commutative. Okay. Now, second result is that the A cross B is a vector quantity. This vector has both direction as well as magnitude. Magnitude is given by AB sine theta, and direction we will calculate by using our right hand. So we will just put this part or this part on the vector, and just cross the fingers towards the another vector, and the thumb will point towards the direction of the resultant. So, like I was saying, suppose these two are the displacements, A and B are the displacement. So A and B, if I do the cross product A cross B, this thumb is representing the resultant. So what is this C is representing? Suppose this pen is my C. Can you all see? This pen is my C resultant vector. So this pen is representing a perpendicular. This pen is representing a perpendicular to the plane in which both the vectors are contained. This C vector, which is being shown by pen here, this C vector is the perpendicular to the plane in which two vectors are being contained. So can you now visually, physically see what do I mean by displacement cross displacement? Displacement cross displacement is a perpendicular to the plane in which two initial vectors are being contained. So did you get what I was trying to say? The cross product is leading to vector. In our case, displacement in displacement will give a perpendicular vector, perpendicular to the plane of the perpendicular to the plane in which I have drawn my two vectors. Okay, so let's move forward. So this is my right hand thumb rule. So this is also we have done is A cross B is equals to B cross A. We have seen this. So A cross B in this diagram, A cross B will be towards up, and B cross A will be downwards. For this diagram, A cross B will be like this: A, B, upward, and for B cross A it will be B cross A, down. Right? They are not same. However, the magnitude is same. The magnitude is A sine theta for both, AB sine theta for both, but the direction of C is different for in both the cases. So important results from cross product are: number one, resultant C is a vector quantity and its direction is calculated by right hand rule. Okay. So resultant quantity is a vector quantity and direction is being calculated by right hand rule. Second, cross product is not commutative. Okay. A cross B is not equals to B cross A. That is also we have seen. The resultant in both cases are equal in magnitude. जो रिजल्टेंट आया है सी वेक्टर का जो रिजल्टेंट है मतलब मैग्नीट्यूड है वो सेम है, लेकिन डायरेक्शन अपोजिट है. एक डायरेक्शन में अगर इधर आएगा तो दूसरे केस में बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट आएगा. For non-zero vectors, cross product is zero only if sin theta is zero, implying sin theta is equals to 0. That means when two vectors are parallel to each other, then two vectors which are non-zero and are parallel to each other, then their cross product will be 0. So if you want to see if these vectors are parallel or not, just calculate their dot product, and then you will see that their cross product is 0. You can see this example also. See here. Suppose this is my A vector and this is my B vector. Suppose this is my A vector and in the same direction I have B vector. So try to apply right hand rule on this. A cross A So I am not able to curl my fingers. I am not able to cross. So when I am not able to cross, it means their cross product will be 0. When I am not able to cross my fingers, it means their cross product is 0. Therefore, they are parallel to each other. Right? Okay. Next is parallel non-zero vectors have 0 cross product. Okay, we know that. The cross product of any two unit vectors is third unit vector, right? So what is the cross product of I, j? You have to calculate I cross j. Can you calculate what is I cross j? So I cross j is k cap. So the vector product of two vectors is third vector taken into consideration is direction. So ij will be always be k, jk will always be I, ki will always be j. Okay, like this. So I into j is k, j into k is I, k into I is j. Similarly, j into I. Now I have changed the order. So I have to multiply by minus sign. I have to balance this by minus sign. So I think you know this. Shall I move forward? Okay, so we should go forward. So you can learn this also in this format. If you make I, j and k and you go in clockwise direction and you rotate in clockwise direction. So I into j will be k, j into k will be I, and k into I will be j. So if you are moving in clockwise direction, you are getting positive third unit vector, and if you are moving in anti-clockwise direction, then you are getting minus third unit vector. So how do we calculate cross product? Cross product is we make a matrix. First row is I cap, j cap, k cap. Second row and third row are the numbers which are being projected in the corresponding directions. So I think you know all this. Can we repeat the same example? Repeat the same example. This one. So can you find the cross product of A vector and B vector, given that A vector is 2 I cap, 3 j cap and 5 k cap, and B vector is I cap plus 3 j cap plus k cap. Can you calculate their cross product? If you do not have any clue, you have to just make this matrix. First row is I cap, j cap, k cap. Then you have to fill like this: 2, 3 and 5. 2 under I, 3 under j and 5 under k. Similarly, 1 under I, 3 under j and 1 under k. And you have to find the determinant of this matrix. So can we do? So what will be the answer? Please calculate the answer for the same vectors: 2 I cap plus 3 j cap plus 5 k cap, and another V vector is I cap plus 3 j cap plus 3 I plus k cap. So it is like 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, and 1, 3, 1. Can you calculate the cross product for these two vectors? Minus 12 I cap, 3 j cap plus 3 k cap. Very good. तो हिमानिश बेटा आपका आंसर थोड़ा गलत है. रिपू का आंसर सही है, आर्या का आंसर सही है. So my answer is also coming out to be minus 12 I cap plus 3 j cap plus 3 k cap. So now we will do questions. We will solve questions. So before coming to questions, let's just revise the important things. Dot product of perpendicular non-zero vectors is 0. Cross product of parallel non-zero vectors is 0. Unit vector has magnitude 1. Projection of A on B. Now this is important. Projection of A on B is basically the shadow of A on B and is calculated by using dot product. Fifth is the magnitude of cross product is AB sine theta and the direction is calculated by right hand rule. So shall I move forward? Should I move forward to questions now? Is everyone settled with a pen and paper? The questions are a little bit tricky. Questions are not easy today. So let's move to our first question. The question number first is this. Find the projection of I cap plus 3j cap plus 7k cap on the vector 2I cap minus 3j cap plus 6k cap. So what you have to do, you have to find the projection of this I cap plus 3j cap plus 7k cap. Suppose this is A vector. This is B vector and this is 2I cap minus 3j cap plus 6k cap. You have to find the projection of A on B. It means you have to calculate the shadow of A on B. And the formula is given, the projection of A on B is given by A vector dot B vector divided by the magnitude of B vector. Divided by the magnitude of B vector. So can you calculate? If you can, please forward. Okay, so Arya is saying the answer. So projection is always positive. Yes, projection is always positive, I guess. Because projection is a distance. It is not a displacement and distance has to be positive. So Arya is saying 41 by 7 and Ripu is saying 5 units. So let's see whose answer is correct. The correct answer is 5. The correct answer is 5. So Dev Malia is right, Ripu is right, Himanish is right, Arya, but you have to do right. 41 is the correct. 41 की जगह 35 आएगा. 41 is not correct. So I'll take 2 minutes and then I will move forward to second question. Five minutes, very good. Because I have not given meter, centimeter, anything like that. Ayan is saying, Arya is saying unit because, Ripu is also saying unit because I have not mentioned in my vectors that whether it is in centimeter, meter or inch. So you will just put unit like that. Now moving to our second question. This is the solution. Those who want to see the solution, the projection of A on B is given by AB dot product divided by B magnitude. So AB dot product is 1 into 2 plus 3 into minus 3 plus 7 into 6. 7 into 6 is 42. 3 into minus 3 is minus 9. 2 into 1 into 2. So 2 minus 9 plus 42, which is 44 minus 9, which is 35. And magnitude is 7. So 35 by 7 is 5. So question number 2 is this. Question number 2 is, if vector A and B are such that A vector, the magnitude of A vector is 3 and the magnitude of B vector is 2 by 3 and the cross product of A and B is a unit vector, then find the angle between A and B. Now let me give you a hint. If A cross B is a unit vector, which means the magnitude of A cross B, that is AB sine theta, must be 1. The magnitude of AB cross, the magnitude of A cross B cross, A cross into B cross, A cross into B has to be 1. Now what is the magnitude of A cross B? The magnitude of A cross B is AB sine theta. So you have to critically put AB sine theta is equals to 1. So Arya is saying 30 degree. Ripu is also saying 30 degree. So let's see whose answer is right. I think both of the answers are same, so they must be right. So answer is 30 degree, right? 30 degree, right? Now moving on to third question. So people who want to see the solution of 2, they can see from here. A vector, the magnitude of A vector is 3, the magnitude of 2, B vector is 2 by 3. If A cross B is giving a unit vector, meaning the magnitude of cross product will be 1, which means AB sin theta will be 1. So 3 into 2 by 3 sin theta will be 1. So sin theta will be 1 by 2, and sin theta is 1 by 2 only when theta is 30 degree. So question number 3 is A vector is 8, B vector is 3, and the magnitude of A cross B is 12. Find the angle between them. Again, answer is 30 degree, right? So Ayan and this again 30 degree, yes. Ayan, Ripu, Abhik, Himanish, pi by 6, very good. Devmalya, Subhashish, 3p. What is 3p beta? 30h. Okay. So Rejwan, Vishwarup, everyone is getting their answers right. So it is 30 degrees. So let's see the solution. So the solution is this. So this will be 8 into 3 is equals into sin theta equals to 12. Sin theta will again equals to half. So theta will be pi by 6. So moving on to question number 4. Now question number 4 is a little bit tricky. Question number 4 is write the value of pi. So lambda. Write the value of lambda so that the vectors A vector and B vector are perpendicular to each other. So if two vectors are perpendicular to each other, which property will be used? If two vectors are perpendicular to each other, which property will be used? We will use their dot product must be 0. Their dot product must be 0. So the right answer is 5 by 2. Abhik is saying dot product is equals to 0. Ripu, your answer is right. Abhik, is your answer is also right. Rijwan, beta, your answer is not right. Correct. Correct. Sahita, maybe you are telling about a dot product has to be 0. So people who don't know how to solve this, they can see the solution from the PPT. Okay, so let's move on to our fifth question. Question number 5. Find the magnitude of x. Find the magnitude of x if for a unit vector a cap this expression is true. So a is a unit vector. We have to find the magnitude of x and a is a unit vector. So please take your time. It's a little bit tricky question. So you have to just multiply. So Ripu is saying 4 units. I think the answer is right. 4 is the answer. Yes, 4 is the answer. But it can be plus and minus 4 units. It can be plus and minus 4 units. So people can see the solution from the PPT. A is a unit vector, it is given, so the magnitude of A will be 1. So when we, when we open this, when we distribute this dot product over the expression, it becomes x into x minus A into x plus x plus dot A minus A into A is equals to 15. Now what is A into A? A into A will be 1. A into x and x into A will be equal, and they are in opposite signs, so they will cancel out. So x square minus a square is equals to 15. X square minus 1 is equals to 15. So x square becomes 16. Yes, this magnitude can be negative also. because I have not mentioned what is x here. I have not mentioned what is x here. So if I was to say distance, we will just discard negative part, saying that distance cannot be negative. But what about potential energy? What about potential energy? What about energy? So it depends upon the quantity whether it can be negative or not. So scalars can also be negative. Not all scalars are always positive. So since it is not mentioned here what is x, what is a, so we have to report answers in both positive and negative. If it was mentioned that this x is distance, then you would have told the teacher that this distance cannot be negative, so we are discarding the negative 4 case. Therefore, x has to be positive 4. Is it clear to everyone? So we have to report both positive and negative answers. This positive and negative depends upon the quantity which is not mentioned. So do you have any questions or any queries regarding our today's class? So I'm sure you have enjoyed today's class. Did we learn something new? So were we able to organize and reassemble our knowledge in a very productive way? Were we able to be more productive? Right? So we will just wind up our class today at this point. In my next class, I will revise your differentiation, integration, trigonometric formulas and their application in physics part. So I'm sure I will find you everyone with the same enthusiasm in my next class. So let's wind up our today's class. I'm sure you enjoyed our class, and I look forward to teach you in my next class, which will be on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. So take care, everyone.